Hey, how's it going, everybody? So of course this morning the brand new, undeniably inevitable Planet Zoo Africa pack was officially announced. To get this information out of the way first so I can then talk about it unscripted and share my thoughts, we need to go ahead and talk about what we are getting in this pack. So to start us off with the all-important animals, the Africa pack is giving us players meerkats, southern white rhinos, fennec fox, African penguins, and scarab beetles, aka dung beetles. Along with all this, we are getting a new, beautiful set of African architecture that seems to be a good mixture of both Morocco and Egypt. And along with all that, we are getting a brand new scenario in apparently a secluded oasis. So, now we can go ahead and talk about it unscripted, and I can give you guys my thoughts. Alright, so let's go ahead and start by talking about the format, as I do feel like it needs to be addressed. So, yes, Frontier have gone back to their regular format, having taken a break with the last pack and doing a different format there. We are now back to their typical 4 habitat animal, 1 tank animal, new variety of construction pieces pack, that kind of pack. And I'm addressing it because I know not everybody's a fan of this kind of pack. But I think we need to look at this in both the perspective of a consumer and a producer. And in the point of a consumer, even I will admit that a theme like this should have had at least one more habitat animal. Honestly, the amount of animals we've gotten never really bothered me that much, but of all the themes that should have one more habitat animal, this was the one to go with. It didn't even have to be anything crazy. Like, seriously. I can think of 2 really good animals that would boost the numbers without really costing that much more money and really not breaking away from their general format that much. For me, I'm thinking of, well, dromedary camels, which, come on, that's another whole North African animal that people want, easy to make, or B, African leopards, basically the exact same thing, another easy to make, another one that not also gives us more South African animals, but is also there to help complete Africa's Big Five. Now we don't have Africa's Big Five. We're missing the African leopards. So, I mean, I just named 2 animals they could have totally done in their time, and the pack would already feel that much more complete. But at the exact same time, we need to understand from the point of a producer, Frontier is taking their quality over quantity seriously. And you can definitely see that here, as we are getting more quality content. And if we can just accept that, just accept and appreciate the fact that they've chosen to give us quality over quantity content, then you can enjoy the pack that much more. That's what I'm going to do. But again, everyone's free to interpret this as they so choose. I just wanted to make my point, and now let's go ahead and move on and talk about the animals. Now, just know at the time of me recording this, I have only had a look at the meerkat and southern white rhino that I think everyone else is going to have a look at as well, but I believe the last 3 are going to be a secret and will be revealed over the week as we make our way to June 22nd through probably Twitter polls like last time. So either way though, let's just go ahead and talk about the ones that we've seen so far. So of course, we got a cheeky glimpse at the meerkat in the trailer with its head popping out of the hole, and I like to address that of course because that's pretty big. As far as this whole tunneling goes and digging, which I know they'll be able to do, this little mound piece right here, it could be a piece, it could be an actual enrichment item, which honestly doesn't bother me that much. I'm okay if all digging is restricted to enrichment. Is it perfect? No, but I'd rather have that than no digging at all. But it may also be just a natural thing that comes with digging from the meerkats, like it appears as they're digging. I'm fine with either way, actually. Of course, I prefer natural digging, but again, I'd rather have an enrichment digging, if nothing else. So, I'm very curious to see how this plays out, and if this is natural, or even if it is just enrichment, how deep do these tunnels go? Is there like an actual tunnel system to it? We'll find out. Based on the press release that I have been given, apparently this does have to do with tunneling, not just like a simple little hole right there. So there is more to this. And I'm definitely very curious to see, as I'm sure we all are. And as far as the actual meerkat goes, well, the first look of it right here, I think actually looks pretty good. And when you get closer, it does get a little freaky. I do want to go ahead and state my opinion on meerkats in general, because just want people to know that I am a huge Meerkat fan. I grew up being them being my favorite animal. I was a big fan of an old show called Meerkat Manor, if anyone knows about that. Super, super nostalgic show. I actually revisited it recently in the in the hype for this new pack, and it was, again, super nostalgic. So I'm really, really happy to finally see Meerkats in Planet Zoo. And I'll be honest, I was one of the people who originally thought Meerkats were never going to be a thing. I don't know why exactly. I had a few decent little reasons, but none of them were really concrete reasons to not have Meerkats. I just thought that they'd be a bit more challenging, and I'm sure they were. But it's just finally, it's good to finally see them here in Planet Zoo, and you also get a pretty good look at them on the key art for the pack. And I mean, this right here basically sums up them. I feel like it does, and it already looks really promising. Especially with the one back here, with that crouched over position, that is a total Meerkat move. They do that crouched over position a lot. Trust me, I've studied Meerkats a lot before, and that is very much a Meerkat move. So yeah, already a promising looking animal that could have been a complete and total disaster. But while we don't have a whole look yet, I want to go ahead and safely say, it looks promising. Hold hope for the Meerkat, because I think this will be a solid animal. So besides the Meerkat, again, as far as from what I've seen, we also have a look at the Southern White Rhino and the key art, and they look pretty good. Now, just know, this is a key art, and not everything is not actual in-game, but it's basically what they're going to look like. Though, if I'm being honest, the white rhinos look a little skinny, in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. I mean, I believe, I think I remember that the name white used to be wide. They used to be called wide rhinos because they are wide. If you look at a white rhino face on, if it's a healthy white rhino, you'll see that it is a wide animal. And then over time, the name just got interpreted as white. But anyway, though, these do look a little skinny, and I do think they're going to look better in game. But my real concern with the white rhino is that they are going to be the Babirusa all over again. Not that the Babirusa isn't good, it's just that, yes, it has a beautiful model that the white rhino probably will as well. It's just that behind that beautiful model is nothing else. It is literally, the Babirusa is just the warthog all over again with a beautiful model. That's it. And that could be the exact same thing with the white rhino. I'm not really holding out hope, but I would like to see them do something to differentiate it from the Indian rhino besides model. I don't want it to be just a beautiful shell with a hollow inside. I'd like it to feel different and act different in some sort of way, even with just one enrichment item, anything, just to help differentiate it a bit more. But anyway, though, besides those two, we do have more. There's lots of decorations all around of all these animals, but we have kind of a sneaky decoration of each of the animals that we have yet to see, including the dung beetle, Fennec Fox, and even a cheeky decoration of the African penguin all the way in the back of the key art. It's right there. It's difficult to see, but so far it's the only piece of African penguin decoration I've seen, or anything that has to do with them. But I also know in the press release information, I was told that the African penguin is going to get a new disco ball enrichment item, whatever the hell that is. I am curious. I'm really curious to see the rest of them. I'm sure model-wise they'll all be really good. I also know from the press release that dung beetles will actually be able to roll dung in the tank, which is exciting. That's just what I've been told, and guests will be able to watch that. I am excited to see that, and I'm sure the others will be really good as well. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think, though. What animal is the most anticipating for you? Or which one are you most anticipating? Again, for me, it's Meerkats, but we're all going to interpret this pack differently. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to talk about the architecture. So of course, this architecture is North African, and as far as from what I've seen, it looks to be like a sweet blend of Morocco and Egypt, which is pretty much exactly what I wanted. I wanted mostly Morocco, but I'm happy to have some Egyptian architecture, and it's just great. Like it looks like they've all combined it, and it just looks nice. Like the architecture looks really nice this time. I'm very much looking forward to a lot of the new. It looks like. I know as far as like architecture goes, it's mostly like mud brick architecture, that kind of style, with lots of. You can already see in the trailer lots of like smaller decoration pieces, like new pots and pans and carpets, and there's already kind of a North African vibe in the game before with like the Indian architecture, but this just kind of expands upon it a bit more. It looks great nonetheless. I don't have a whole lot else to say. I'm just looking forward to it. Oh, and by the way, there's even a, if you notice in the key art, there's a, it's not so much cheeky because you can see it pretty clearly, but there is a dromedary camel decoration, which I find kind of funny because it's almost like they're taunting us with that. Whatever, right? Either way, though, I really like the new architecture, and I do hope there is new foliage. I was told there is new foliage, but I have yet to see a single piece of new foliage, which is a little concerning, but I guess we'll find out. And besides all that, there is also a brand new time scenario, as I mentioned, apparently set in a more of like a desert oasis. I don't usually get into the time scenarios that much, but I'm sure other people will enjoy it. And yeah. So anyway, guys, that is basically my overview of the brand new Africa pack. I might make a couple more videos about it as we wait for June 22nd, which is when the pack launches. That's a full week from now. I hope you guys are anticipating it as much as I am. Again, I know this is not generally the Africa pack that we all wanted, but it is an Africa pack that we can still appreciate, and I hope you guys appreciate it with me, as these animals look really promising, and I think they'll be great additions to the game. Let me know what you all think about it in the comments down below, and we'll talk more about this later. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.